Maybe come a bit like this closer to me, actually.
Okay. That's what she said.
This is my way of escalating. Right, cool. So yeah, I just want to speak a bit about like, you know, when it comes to dating, you know, a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of the time, kind of girls, they are into sex, right? They enjoy it, and they are obviously kind of like sexually active. But actually, for them, the priority isn't really necessarily sex itself. It's actually the sort of the intimacy that comes with it, more so than the actual physical act itself. So, like for myself, I've kind of, you know, there's been occasions where the sex has just been bad for one reason or another. Maybe I was just tired, or I just wasn't that horny in the moment, and the sex was just bad. Yeah. And the girl still wanted to see me again, even though it wasn't exactly, from my perspective, such an amazing experience. She was still up for seeing me again. And I think that was because of the intimacy and the connection that was built. And that could sort of like, you know, compensate for a lot more, rather than the actual physical activity per se.
Yeah, no, I feel like it is important to be good in the bedroom, but it's not everything, because as Ed said, sometimes you're not going to be performing, you're tired, you're not, you know what I mean, not every time you're going to be 100%, so yeah. It depends on what she's looking for, but I would say, yeah, it's more about the connection and the intimacy. If you have that really good connection, she will see you again, even if you don't perform well. So, yeah,
it's like the physical, like the sexual intimacy, you can kind of, in some ways, you can sort of like compensate with just being more physically intimate in general, just like hugging and touching and just getting close and just kissing and stuff like that. You know, you can, like for them, that's like an amazing experience, and that is actually something that many kind of women actually value more than the actual sexual pleasure itself, actually, because for women you have to kind of remember that for an attractive woman, sex is abundant and it's not like a rare commodity. It's not something that they have to put in a lot of effort to pursue. Unlike guys, for us it's the opposite. It's like a big deal. It's like, oh great, we're having sex. It's amazing.
You want to still try and be good in the bedroom.
Yeah, so that's why for women they kind of value it less than how we value it. So it's that change of perspective that's worth sort of considering and taking into account. So for them, for an attractive woman, the intimacy aspect, the actual genuine connection is actually something that's actually rare and far more valuable, because it's much more difficult to obtain.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
That's why, you know, if you're able to provide that for a girl, you're more likely to actually, you know, continue to see her and actually form a good relationship with her. So just remember that it's more about, you know, physical intimacy and connection rather than, you know, sexual gratification or sexual pleasure. So what exactly do I mean about like physical, or rather the connection and the intimacy? It's basically just like, you know, things like hugging, kissing, just getting close, not being afraid to like break that sort of physical barrier in that sort of way.
I'm sure girls like it when, I know they say about being vulnerable, but it's true, they do like it when you can show that side, you know, the cuddling, the affection. You know, they value the bonding more, but yeah, you still want to like ideally try and perform as best as you can, but you're doing it because you know, do things because it turns you on. Don't do it just to try and please her. What do you think the mindset should be in the bedroom? You're trying to please her.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of both really. I try and like fairly like sort of balance it, you know. I try to balance it anyways. So like when it comes to being vulnerable in a sense, it's like, yeah, it's just about not being afraid to kind of express yourself in a really genuine and authentic way. Yeah, and part of that is actually about how you express that in a physical sense. So in other words, you know, escalating with her physically, but not being afraid to kind of push the boundaries to where you actually like it's almost like you've known each other a long time and you're treating each other in that way rather than just this like awkward sort of
fumbling around.
Yeah, sort of like fumbling around, like you're not sure of yourself, as if like you're still strangers.
Treat her like when you meet her, assume that you've already been dating her and she's already into you. You should have that mindset and you know, hold her hand, kiss her if you want. You know, you want to assume she's already into you.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, if you're not used to being physical with girls on dates, then it can feel a bit strange. And actually, when you've done it enough times, then actually it becomes much easier to do this stuff and actually feel comfortable and actually feel like you've been with her for a long time, as opposed to like, oh yeah, you're still strangers, you're still not really sure whether it's cool to be like touching her or whatever, or hugging her or whatever it is. But actually that's how you build that powerful connection, actually. A lot of guys kind of underestimate this stuff. Actually, they just focus all on like the sexual part of things, and it's like, yes, we're in the bedroom now, yes, I made it. But actually it's far more important from the girl's perspective, the connection that's actually being made. For them, that's what's truly valuable.
But also they get more attracted to you in the bedroom if they're emotionally invested and attached. I'm not saying you want to manipulate people, but I'm just saying that when you have a good bond connection, it makes the experience better anyway in the bedroom.
That's true, actually. That's true. It kind of sparks the attraction a lot more as well. For a lot of girls, it's like they need to like.
It's very important.
Yeah, it's very important for a lot of girls when there's that when they feel like they really know you and they really sort of understand you. And that's part of that connection building stuff as well. Rather than, for example, let's say there was a girl and she was put in a room with an attractive stranger, she might not even be that turned on because she just doesn't know that person well enough. A lot of girls, they actually need to know that person inside out a lot of the time before they actually, want to actually genuinely get intimate with them. So
guys are a bit different, I would say.
Yeah. It's true, Sometimes, guys forget about that. But it's just interesting seeing things from the other perspective. It's like for guys, it's like the rare commodity is sex. But for women, sex is already abundant and already easily attainable. So actually the rare commodity is actually just, a genuine connection and, an authentic kind of relationship or of some sort, physical intimacy, which is actually genuine.
Non-sexual attention, sexual attention, all these terms, but
Because there's a difference between like physical intimacy and like sexual intimacy. And like, a lot of guys sort of they don't really express themselves. They don't kind of
have their guard up.
They don't really express themselves physically because it's all well and good expressing yourself sort of verbally and like sort of doing all the flirty stuff with a girl, but actually you can do a lot with physical stuff as well. You can really express a lot physically. In fact, in some ways it's even more powerful than the verbal stuff.
100%.
Cheers for watching. If you'd be interested in one-to-one coaching with me where we'll go out in public and work on you approaching girls, or more generally with your social confidence, please visit my website ed-game.com.